Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the LeetCode challenge on the challenge number 182 called the duplicate emails. And for this particular challenge, we are operating in the database system again, and this is on the database series, and we are working with MySQL language specifically for this tutorial. If you want to use something else other than MySQL, then go ahead, I encourage you to do so. And for this challenge number 182 called the duplicate emails, and we have the table of person. The first column, we have two columns, the first one which is the ID, and the second column which contains the email entries. And ID is the primary key column with unique values for this table, and each row of the table contains an email, and the emails will not contain uppercase letters. And we need to write a solution to report all of the duplicate emails. Note that it is guaranteed that the email field is not null, and we need to return the result table in any order. And the result format is the following example. We have the person table, which is the whole table that contains each ID and email respectively of each entries. And if you notice, by the naked eye there is a duplicate which is a@b.com, also on the third entries which is the a@b.com. And we need to return that duplicate as one, but with the email only, without the ID column. And if you notice, this email is on the uppercase, but doesn't worry, you don't have to worry, because it is not considered as the perfect query for this challenge. And for the explanation here, a@b.com is repeated 2 times. Okay, so without further ado, let's solve this out. The first thing that we need to do is by selecting the whole table. We can use the select, the wildcard, or select everything using this asterisk sign. And then we need to refer which table that we are selecting from. We need to use from keyword, use from person, and let's test this out to see what it contains. And we have the output of the whole table, of the person table, and we need to do only returning the email, only the duplicate email, but we need to wipe out the ID column. In order to do that, instead of selecting everything by this wildcard on the MySQL, we can select the email column, which is the column name, which is email. And let's run this again to see the test result. And we are only outputting email with a@b.com, every entries in the email column. So for the next one that we need to do, we need to count how many duplicates occurred in the same column. We can use this aggregate function called the count, using the count and email with count of the occurrences of the email from the person, and that way we have another column that stated the count of the email. Since we are using this aggregate function of the email, count email, then we need to count all of the emails inside the email column. So since we only have 3 emails, which is on the AB, then there are grouped into one aggregate entries because of this count function right here. So it only happens once, but this count is noted as the 3 because of the value. And the next thing that we should do is by using a function called the group by keyword. Group by, we can use a group by email, and let's run this again to see if it works. And we have a different count. The first one, we have only 3 counts, and the c@d.com is not going to be registered, but it wasn't being registered, but this one is registered because we are using the group by email, a group by keyword, that we are grouping all of the emails based. If we have a duplicate, then it will be grouped as one, and this count function is considered an aggregate function. And to check if that grouped, there is a count from the grouped entries. Since A and B has 2 occurrences within the grouped one, then the count is considered as 2. Let's say if we have another entry of c@d.com on the ID 4, then we have the count email as 2 instead of 1 right here. And we off to a good start right here. And the next thing that we should do is by using the where clause, where the count of the email of this count function is above 1 to check to see if we have at least 2 occurrences or more than 1 occurrence, which is duplicate in another word. Let's run this again. You might think that where is not a proper keyword that we insert after the group by, because where should be used before the group by keyword right here. So instead of using where, we use the having count of the email is above 1, not equal 1, equal or above, but above 1. So we only consider 2 or more occurrences of the email. And we can check this again, and this having clause can be used after the group by, unlike the where clause. So that is the main difference between where and having clause. And having is only used for this aggregate function like the count and the group by, after it has been compressed as one, like using grouping. And having can be used, but for where clause, it only applies on each individual row, and where only filters individual row before that table is going to be grouped. So that is why the where is placed before the group by. So we have the output of the count email of 2, and the count email by 1 is not going to be registered because this having clause exists right here. Count email is above 1, and the c@d.com is not going to be registered, and we can delete this count email from this extra table column. We can eliminate this count email since we already know the answer, that we are already testing everything by using this count and already visualize this to you. And let's delete this, and we can just run this again to see if it works. And we have the accepted solution using the lowercase email or as the column name, and the expected output is the uppercase email or capitalized email. But we can modify this if you want by using the as keyword. We are using aliases. We select email column as the email with the uppercase or the capitalized letter. And let's run this again to see if it works. And let's submit this to see if it really works. And if you as you can see that we have the email column is capitalized. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you understand my explanation. If you still don't understand, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you have any better solutions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.